I do that. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Everybody else can do that. I try to stay away. I mean, I vent my frustrations on Twitter for most sports, but I don't know. It doesn't help, so it's fine. But yeah, the team, bipolar, extreme bipolar is probably the best description I've heard of the team this year. Because last year started off really slow.
Right.
Didn't get the first win till July. So this year, I mean, they start off well. I mean, by the time we beat San Antonio in the third game, we're second in the table. So, and then it just went all downhill from there.
But when you look at that, though, when you even look back to the San Antonio game, and I'm going back and I've looked at every game, and when you kind of go back to that, you start looking. Actually, when you go to the first Atlanta game, we stole that like a tie. We stole that with the penalty with Don Smart, and then you are never ever again going to get a 45, 50-yard shot from Pena ever.
No.
Right, that's
well,
just
he'll
not
attempt
good.
it.
Well, he might. It's when
he get back on the
plays,
field.
right?
Hey,
Absolutely,
Reds,
he would. Yeah.
we witnessed it.
Yeah, we
That
did.
was the
I know.
best
I
part
know.
about that.
That's true. That's true. When you're in the middle of your Texas trip.
Yeah, you know what's funny is, I'm sorry, I don't mean
Feel
to
free.
intrude on your spot. I was listening to you guys on the way back from
That's too bad.
San Antonio
We called him
with
out.
my partner Abby in the car,
Uh-huh.
and you guys brought up that I was on a Texas trip and gave like details on my itinerary, and I was like,
We did.
"This is
True.
a bit too real."
Hey, well, you were tweeting out everything.
The amount you guys mentioned me on this show is scary.
Where do
by
you
the
think
way.
I got that information from? From your own Twitter.
Oh wait, remember my 75-year-old dad who is an ultra in the section with us?
That was incredible.
God,
He
that
was-
was the best.
He was having so much fun in the AO section at the U.S.-Mexico game in San Antonio. It was incredible.
Yeah, my dad, who's 75 years old and is not a soccer fan, is like golf. Like that's him and I have played golf since I was 2.5, and like all the stuff.
Well, you guys should hit the links together.
Oh, I'll play golf with anybody.
Uh-oh.
But
Look at Chris is like,
so-
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
the thing is that like my dad, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go to this game, but don't worry about it. You'll come with us to the Indy 11 San Antonio game. It'll be much more calm whenever. He goes, no, I want to do the things you're doing. I want to go. And I was like,
Sassy dad.
you're 75 years old, Dad. You probably shouldn't do this. And my
Did he look at you and go, "Hey, thank you once again telling me how old I am, and I'm still going to do what I want because I'm a grown ass man"?
I was being. I'll admit I was being a bit ageist, but my dad, of course, like a lot of who I am is kind of from my dad. Like can't sit still, have to be doing something all the time. This is a guy that had like prostate cancer, had surgery to remove it, and was told you can't lift anything over 20 pounds
For a reason.
Yeah, and he was reading a book until his wife left the house, and immediately got up, drove in the car to Ace, and picked up 50-pound bags of mulch because he was bored and he needed to do
Because he was
something.
bored.
Like and that's the thing. It's like that's why like my partners even said like if anything happened to me, like say an injury like Thomas had, that if I was stuck on bed rest, she would literally call people in to babysit me because I can't be trusted to just sit still.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Great dude, solid dude, completely backed.
So back to
But
the
continue,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No.
But real quick though, just because, and you kind of brought up, how your dad isn't a soccer fan. How did you get into becoming a soccer fan?
Do we want to do that now, or you want to
Yeah,
finish the
can we
question?
finish
of
his
Rex, and
question?
then
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
come back
Finish
to
the
that?
question of Reds.
Andy's really.
I
good
forgot
at this.
that. I forgot that you interrupted him, so that was
I
rude
did,
on my
and
point too.
I'm
That's why I
trying
tried
to-
That's why I tried to stop you. I'm like, hold on.
My bad.
Get back to
I was busy
The
trying to
team.
fix the
Our
technical
team.
difficulties.
the team, our team, this team. Go.
That's a complicated question.
Yes.
Yeah, so like you said, bipolar. I don't know. I
But
wish
what do
I
you
could
think the
explain
issue
it.
is? What do you think? What do you think's going on? Because my philosophy is, it's not a talent issue. I think there is a severe chemistry issue, and this and follow me on this. I think you have players when you look at your midfield, you have a certain group of players that grew up and played in a very creative type of style, which is a touch, go, pass type deal. And then you have some American-born players that were born with we teach technical ability first, stop, you move, you look, you go, and it's not necessarily as fluid And you kind of have this weird, and on top of signing a new player every week, just kind of rolling in and starting them because in some of it's necessity, you have to, but you have a chemistry. And I made the analogy that this, if you're looking at this as a FIFA FUT team, you would have like red, couple greens, and then red going
Maybe
around.
a yellow here.
Maybe
and
a
there.
yellow here and there. But I think it's more of a chemistry thing than it is anything else. But,
Yeah, no, that's certainly fair. I think when we were hitting it hot at the end of the spring season, the team was great, but then we start getting hurt, and that's I can distinctly remember having a conversation with Peter Will about how didn't hit the injury bug at all. I think Payne may have just gotten hurt, but the depth there was good because we had Brad Ring. So
you basically jinxed us.
I blame Peter Will. As a matter of fact, no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah. So after that, think about all the injuries we've had. Just bad luck with Morales getting red cards.
is that bad luck or just really bad decisions?
Both,
Right. Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
Chris and I
No,
were
the first one.
Chris
The
and I were
first
joking
one.
that Eric's trophy case is basically team of the weeks and then red cards.
Cards, team of the week,
that's a pretty
goals.
tight trophy.
It's like which one we have more of? Goals,
Speaking of the
team of the weeks,
bipolar.
or yeah, right. Right. Yep.
It's and that's a game of soccer. You're either you get a yellow card for a bad tackle, or they
Right.
just give you a straight red. It happened to the
Yep.
TFC game on Saturday.
Yep.
So yeah, that's luck. It just depends on what ref you get that day and what his position is on the field and what he sees. So yeah, myriad of things, injuries, red cards, but I don't think this team's bad. I think they're good. Obviously, they've shown that they've won games against good teams, but
Well, yeah, and we consistently play our best ball, honestly, against the Cosmos. We may not get a win, but we always play well. Or is it that they play down? But I don't think so. I think when you look, our best movement and our best overall 90-minute performance has come against, I think, them. And it's just they're a tough team to beat at this point. So, right, we see this. We go, we know you can do it. We see it. So how does it end up 7? How does it end up 7?
how
Like,
does any game end up 7?
so I'm in Toledo. Took my son up there for the first time to visit family, and so I have it up. Obviously, I'm watching on ESPN3, and I'm watching. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, after being on the BN app, and I'm watching Real Madrid. I'm watching this, and I'm like, well, I have another game I have to watch. I'm sorry, I know we're doing family time, but I have to watch it. Just like the week before. Yes, I took my daughter to 5 Seconds of Summer, but it wasn't going to stop me from watching Indy 11. As I'm sitting watching, I said, I can't do this anymore. I was like, right now, I can't do it. I'm missing family. I see this, and then I turn it back on less than 10 minutes later, and I go, okay, I don't put it back there. Move that over here. And then everybody just kind of looked at me, and they're like, what's the matter? I was like, I'm just not going to talk about it right now because I don't think it's real. Like it was a weird thing because I was like, that's not real. Like that's not a real thing. We'll just look tomorrow and see. And I woke up and I did the same thing. I looked at
That's
it.
a FIFA game where you refuse to quit. The
Right.
guy's way too much better than you, and you're like, you know what?
But it
Just
wasn't
gonna
bad.
go through it.
I don't know what it was, man. That was bizarre. So, anyways, so Mr. Evans, same question 20 minutes ago, relayed to you.
What was the original question?
The original question was, so this season has been kind of bipolar. It's been up and down. It's been weird. What's been your take on the season? What do you think's going on right now? It's the State of the Union.
State of the Union. Oh yeah, that's who you want, really, given State of the Union.
No, honestly, it is.
Yeah.
Because you're probably one of the most honest people that would actually give the most honest opinion of what.
I think part of the problem is, like when you sign a new player, I understand the urgency and the desire to put him into the lineup to see what happens and to see if he's going to work out and if it'll make sense. But the thing is that a week of training or 2 weeks of training isn't enough time to get any sort of chemistry with the people you're playing with. It's an unknown entity. And the thing is that if you look at the games we've played with our core roster intact and playing together in the positions they should be playing, we've performed pretty well. It's almost as though we have all of the pieces we need. We keep adding pieces. And on top of that, it doesn't do anything because we keep messing with it so much. We keep tweaking it when it doesn't need
Every
to be
week.
tweaked.
I want a stat. That's another question. How many weeks this season have we run the same roster?
That it's literally, it has to be less than 3.
I would almost say less than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why a big like goose egg is thrown in there, but I know there's at least been one.
I think there was one
there's
where
been
it was the same roster except Charlie was out and Woj was in.
Yeah.
Was the only change between the 2 games.
Yeah.
And other than that, I don't know if there's been an entire 11 that has fielded the
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible because Mayers has been hurt, so he's been a mainstay at the attacking mid position.
Which
Pineda.
I guess he should be back Saturday, maybe.
Oh, really?
From what I'm hearing,
Haven't heard.
Really?
That's
possibly.
I don't know.
That's huge.
It's
Sorry.
funny because it's like I was listening to Blood Shambles and they had people on from that were Cosmos supporters, and they've said the same thing, which is Indy 11 has the parts to be a competitive team right now in this league and to be a dominant team in this league.
Yep.
And they cannot, for the life of them, figure out how to use the parts they have. And that's not a criticism of Tim Regan. That's not a criticism of the front office. That's not even a criticism of the players. It just seems like we have a lot of good parts, but something.
But that still falls on somebody. Somebody makes those decisions.
But
you could
does
say
it?
it's not a criticism. Well, somebody has to say you're starting, you're not. That's on somebody. Let's be honest. Let's be real
but the
about
thing
that.
is, it's like-
Somebody makes that decision.
But the thing is like I've played hockey for years.
Okay, right.
And there have been situations where you have the guys that should be on each line, and for some reason something isn't working. So coaches will change it up, or you'll get in a situation where a guy's coming out of the box on out of a penalty kill. He comes on the line, and for some reason, this guy that shouldn't be out with this line, it just works, and you don't know. For an is a natural pass first kind of right wing, and the center has the right position, so that way when the left wing came over, he was he's the kind of guy that'll low screen the goaltender. It's just sometimes it takes a complete happenstance accident to figure it out, and I think that's what this team is suffering from.
Well, to counter that though, you sometimes have, and I don't want to name players, but you sometimes have players that consistently don't perform.
Hi, Charlie.
So you have that coach or whoever is making the decision of saying play this person, and it's just not working. And it's almost like a parent who's like, I know my kid can do better. I'm just going to keep putting him out there until he does better. And it just never happens. And it gets to that point where it's just like, how many times do you have to keep doing the same thing over and over again before it's considered insane?
It's true, but at the same time,
is the field. We don't know what's going on out there.
Sure.
So, it's one of those things where at this point, I fear like I am getting dangerously close to, we should just trust the president because the president's the president and he knows what he's doing. But it's like, I'm not out there. I don't have a perfect explanation of it, but I can tell with my back to the game and watching it on the big screen that something is not right. For sure, and
broken. It's just, it's plain and simple. It's kind of broken right now.
But the parts are there.
Well, yeah,
and
even on
said
paper,
that.
even on paper, when you look at it, you're like, okay, we've got a good mix of veterans and young kids, and we've got a good mix of, foreign players and American players and local kids and people from around, and getting the right people from loan and all that kind of stuff. But it's to your point, it's a FIFA FUT team where it's a starter pack that just opened up and you're just throwing them. Okay, this guy's going here, this guy's going there.
I feel like
I got some new silver players to go with my bronze one.
that's actually a really good analogy for what we see sometimes.
Yeah.
I want somebody on Twitter that's listening to make a graphic of FUT players, but put Indy 11 headshots and stats in there and make it a actual to see what the lines would look like.
We're hoping our 5 people that are ever listening to us are going to do this.
But wait, talking about Twitter, has anyone given a 2 Peters walk into a bar joke yet?
No,
That's a shame.
I mean, it's
Because I can't think of a punchline for that. So, but I'm sure
I think of ones, but I probably should say them off the air.
I mean, USA. But so,
Right. Ooh.
so you asked
Freedom
earlier.
of speech.
You asked earlier about how I got into soccer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's circle back around to that.
That came from the fact that in 1994, obviously the World Cup, I remember watching the opening ceremonies and getting hyped.
How old were you then?
Jesus, I'm bad at math, man. That's not good. I'm 28 now, so whatever that is.
So you're born in 87.
Correct.
So 94. You were.
So you're 7 years old.
Yeah, you're
There we
7.
go. I was 7. I was pretty tight.
I was actually.
so
I was
I
actually
was pretty tight.
I wasn't. I was
Well,
probably like the
I
weirdest kid.
think that might be the punchline to the two beaters walking.
They were pretty tight.
yeah.
No, I was probably
Two Peters walk in a bar, and one looks at the other and says,
At 7, I was pretty tight.
7, huh? Pretty tight.
Mic drop.
and then I started,
Mic drop.
but no, the
In 7 more years, watch out for a guy doing Subway commercials.
whoa,
Oh, what?
Topical.
Oh, really?
Topical.
Oh, really?
I didn't say it all.
I know.
collective.
That was not safe hands. I'm sorry. It's not safe handing.
It's on,
Anyway,
it's on video.
So
too.
1994.
1994, a glorious year in American history.
Rex is like,
It was, but it was not a glorious year for Italian history.
True. Or Colombian history.
That's very
Move
true.
a little bit.
No, yeah, totally did. But, right, remember that was the year, right? Well,
Okay,
but
so-
you had Valderrama and you had Roberto Baggio kick it over the goal. That was awesome.
Did you ever read the long form that Sports Illustrated did about the first year of MLS and the fact that the entire league hinged on one of the owners was like, I'll buy in and I'll buy a team, but only if I can have Valderrama.
Yeah.
Or no, that, and then he was like, I want the Brazilian guy that did that sweet bicycle kick, or I'm not buying in.
I want the Brazilian guy with the sweet bicycle kick.
I can't
Yes.
remember for the life of me what the player's
Me
name
too.
is, but so regardless,
See, I would have bought in too.
Yeah.
So 94.
The MLS High
Oh,
Cluter
thank
started in 1996, and none of the people I've said hi to are paying attention at all.
Kluter listens. Peter Whittle listened too.
Well, Cluter, I just want you to know that when the MLS started in 1996, that I was interested. Obviously, there weren't any local teams, so I kind of sided more towards Columbus than Chicago.
Mhm.
Happened. I still lived in the region.
The region.
Switched over to Chicago.
Switched over
Had
to
to.
Chicago.
You had to.
Andrew's like,
goes,
no. Whatever.
Just
Rex
pretty
is a
hyped.
Toronto fan, so I don't know how that happened.
That's an interesting story.
I did
Wait,
because Janny played there. Janny. You don't even, yeah. He was my guy on FIFA 98. Janny was amazing. We came with a whole phrase called Janny Jack moves.
Yep.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah, oh yeah, just missed goals like crazy. Janny Jack moves. Anyways,
Janny Jack that move.
just
But,
Janny Jack.
so that time where I became interested in basically MLS, and that's all I really watched honestly until about midway through college was only MLS. I didn't watch anything overseas. I didn't care about it. It seemed all,
Dude,
obviously foreign.
you are a hipster through and through.
Oh, he's a savage.
You are
He's a savage hipster.
I watched like the worst soccer first, and then I went to, like, dude, this is the newest. This is the nobody knows about this.
I'm not
Nobody knows
kidding.
about MLS.
I'm not kidding when I say this.
I was an MLS fan before MLS,
MLS
fans.
was even a MLS.
I'm
It
not
was like-
kidding when it comes to any two teams where I'm like a complete
Yeah.
neutral. MLS is the league I'd prefer to watch.
Yeah.
That is without a doubt the truth. And I think it's Bill Stark is the same way, and it's nice to meet someone that may
Small person I know,
let me say, I don't know if he's listening or whatever, but so Bill Stark is one of these guys that does a lot of stuff that no one knows that he's doing. A ton of stuff, like he
It's really
literally
creepy.
don't talk shit about Bill.
I love Bill.
Bill is the
You don't
best.
Talk about duh.
But the thing is so he literally does all this work, all these things behind the scenes that no one's really aware that he's doing. there was a point at which Bill was the only person helping me with TIFO for a couple months this year, and Derek Droger would have to babysit us because we were in this warehouse that demanded, like his company owned, so the dad demanded you have to watch them. So Droger would watch us, and Bill and I are like having these insane.
Someone who's a quite responsible human being of Derek Droger watching you do something.
Hey man, he was just babysitting his girlfriend, but so he. I love you, Derek. But so what happens is that we're making like all these insane like remarks to each other. We're talking about American soccer. We're tracing banners. We're painting, and Droger's like, "You guys have been here for 12 hours. Like, don't you want to leave?" We're like, "No, we got another like good 6 hours in us." And Droger's like, "No, we're leaving. Like, we need to leave." And meanwhile, Bill and I are inhaling whatever weird growth of bacteria is going on in this, warehouse, and we're probably getting black lung and dying, but slowly.
A warehouse that looks like people get dragged there to get killed or something.
Okay, so we've had a couple TIFO locations. I know we're going way off tangent.
It's okay.
Who cares? We've had a couple TIFO locations. The first one was Raccoon City. That's where,
Raccoon City so much.
God, Raccoon City was so tight.
It was the best.
Raccoon City.
Like 7-year-old type.
So
Whoa,
Whoa.
Jared.
It's just what he said. No,
Whoa.
it's what he said.
Whoa.
Doing a callback to something Peter Evans
he
said.
did.
in the
He
show.
goes at 7 hours so tight. That's what he said. Quote.
I mean,
Quote.
at
That is a
28,
quote.
at 28, I'm still so tight.
Respect.
But
All right.
Respect, Drake. Booyakasha.
Booyakasha.
so what happens is that Raccoon City is Black Acre Brewing Company actually gave us their
Right.
space that they had bought to build a bigger brewery.
Shout out to Holly and Justin. Holly in the rear, as she told us on our
She
show.
does.
Plenty of parking in the rear. She goes, "Oh, there's plenty of parking in the rear."
Yes.
And
Black-
then wait.
Black
Yeah.
Acre is doing some great things.
Yeah.
Black Acre is
They are.
legit.
They're doing the Lord's work in Irvington. But
So
so
do Saucy Intruder IPA. Looking at you.
Just had some saucy and your girlfriend surprised me at work with a little.
good times.
Wait, she surprised you at work with some Saucy Intruder?
With the, no,
That is a Saucy
no,
Intruder.
this is
That
the
would
universal symbol for
she
a
intruded to work and gave you
for
some
a growler,
Saucy.
a growler of saucy intruder.
That's the universal symbol.
Sweet Jesus.
But we had that, and Raccoon City was pretty cool.
Yeah.
As we were waiting we would wait for paint to dry at certain points.
Yeah.
And because watching paint dry is the most fun activity you can do.
Yeah. It's about as fun as this show.
So we would walk around this building, and this building had been abandoned for a couple years, and it was, I don't know, I think they must have had machinery that like filled like couch cushions and stuff, and we would walk around and it would just be random things all over the place. There was a picture in a broken picture frame of Marilyn Monroe sitting in like the manager's office. We were like, what?
Oh, this place was
Was it
incredible.
yellow and crusty?
It was amazing. We had a bathroom that we all took pisses in, but
That's usually what a bathroom's for.
but it didn't flush.
Oh, okay.
So
It
we
smelled so bad.
It's like
we
a trough.
We let the
So it's like Wrigley
the thing is-
Field.
The thing
It's
is,
like the trough at the WCWO show down
but,
there.
oh my god!
Shout
yes.
out to Dangerous Bull Don Badger.
But, but
It's getting there, Chris. I'm slowly moving it.
Do it. Just
Slowly
do
moving
it.
to
Just
there.
do it. Let's
we'll-
get
we'll-
into
we're
it.
not going to break the seal completely yet. But, so what happened is that it would be,
Here's one for my soccer homies because it's about to go wrestling.
hey, we can do both at the same time. So
Yeah.
I mean, in the WWE roster, who would you want as your striker?
There it is.
Obviously,
Finn.
Finn Balor.
Yes. He played
He's an
he played
attacking
soccer
mid.
growing up.
No, man, I would want him as my holding mid because he'd at least be able to push the ball forward.
Okay. I'm okay with
Can I
that.
have Lesnar as my goalie?
I
I
You
want him
wouldn't
as my
want
keeper.
you wouldn't want the Bork Laser as your goaltender.
I would absolutely do that. Dude is an athletic.
The
freak.
Bork Laser.
God. And that dude,
Hey, real quick, since nobody's listening, I want to get a trivia question to give away two tickets for Saturday's game. And I want a Peter Evans. I originally said no, I don't want Peter to come up with a trivia
we already
question.
gave a question, which was come up with a great joke for Peter Evans and Peter Wilt
Nobody
walking
heard
to a
that.
bar.
Nobody heard
Well, we're
that.
gonna do that now.
But I want a trivia question from
How
Peter.
about two layers? You can have one or the other.
Boom.
So you either make the joke or you answer the question.
I'd like
make
the
a
question.
joke or answer the question. It's
Okay,
your choice, but you only got one.
Let's go with one that anyone that knows anything about American soccer history prior to
we go.
NASL would
Jesus.
know.
Oh my
Okay,
God!
so
So
that may be like-
1937,
maybe like
back in St. Louis.
4 people that possibly listen
Soccer
to this show.
trivia Union
What's
Jack all over
prohibition
again.
ended
This
in?
is how we ended with St. Louis showing up to matches, is just asking questions like these. Because they're the only ones that care, besides me apparently, of American soccer history. Also, they have an awesome statue dedicated to St. Louis's history in American soccer at their stadium.
St. Louis was important in American soccer.
I know, right? They never.
Got him.
No, being from St. Louis in American soccer is like
him.
being from St. Louis in
got
American soccer. It's like graduating from Notre Dame. It's the first thing that comes out of their mouth. Because they're like, "Oh, I'm from St. Louis. We have all this great history. Awesome. You have a third division team. Like you have a feeder team.
Great, a feeder team to the MLS. Yeah, okay.
The MLS.
Thank you.
But
You can't do that.
you can.
No, you can't because
The
it's
MLS?
M. It's M. It just linguistically.
okay,
it
so
I like how
doesn't
you're
make sense.
explaining
No, just
the
point.
joke. The
Just-
joke is that
I
it
know.
pisses off
I know,
Colluder.
it
Okay.
does.
It's,
All right, cool.
it's because
I know.
it's
And I
because
like that
he's
it's
also
pissing
an-
you off.
he's
That's
also
why
an
I'm
Ohio
doing it.
State fan, and the something is only restricted to
Isn't
Ohio
that
State.
because isn't that because of a lawsuit? Isn't that literally how that happened? Is because
No,
I thought it was a lawsuit that made them use it as
Not at
the
all.
Ohio State.
no, it's just because that's proper English.
No, it's because they're pretentious assholes.
We are pretentious assholes.
Which
anyways.
which is funny
But
for a
I'm only
state
messing
school to
with
be
you.
so pretentious, especially from Ohio, a state where they have more astronauts than any other state in the union because people are
They're dreaming
so
big. They're
eager
dreaming
to
big.
leave the
They're
state.
dreaming big.
They even go to space. To
no,
leave.
no, they want to. They realize that this country was shit long before we were. Like before we recognized it, said we need to go somewhere else. Like we need to go out.
Hey, shoot
There.
for the moon.
Shoot for. Hey, remember. Just remember. You just keep reaching for the stars because the stars don't have arms to reach for you. Just remember that, Peter.
You realize that if you
should've
reached for
drank
the
during that.
star, you'd go into like hot plasma and burn up and die, right?
If you're reaching for the stars, though, you probably won't get them.
Yeah.
Because they're too far away.
You know, if you ever heard that thing, like you reach for the stars, and if you miss, you land on the moon. It's like that's not encouraging in
Right.
any way, shape, or
So
form.
anyway, so right.
Trivia question.
Right, trivia
All right,
question.
you ready for this? Okay.
Yes, there it is.
I hope it's a question
The
about space.
shittiest of shit shows.
This is the best.
This
Can we
is
be
going
on
in the
every
vault.
week?
This is
Just
going in
every
the
week.
vault.
We'll just come on.
Yeah, we're never gonna air this.
Every single week, we'll just
Kill the
come in
feed.
with money in the bank, and we'll just we'll bring a briefcase, toss on the table, and throw out both people. This is the title shot.
That would
right
be
now.
That's the best thing all night right
like
there.
it.
I
But,
like that idea. That is the best idea I've heard.
We're doing this every week now.
And then Mark comes in with another thing and goes, I'm getting rid of all four of you.
It's okay. Jail
He pulls
takes
a
it in, Jack.
Vince and just goes, "You're fired."
Oh no, he throws you out. He brings another podcast. He's like, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along." But
And then it's bloody shambles. And they're sitting here and we go, what?
I knew it was
Just
James
happened?
the whole time.
Ah.
Did you ask your damn question?
Could be wrestling based too. Let's throw them
But,
off.
Oh, Jesus.
no, we're gonna do soccer question because it's a soccer podcast.
Technically,
so-
we're really not a soccer
We're not
podcast.
a soccer podcast. We're not a
We're
podcast.
just we're a shit.
Podcast.
Chicago, Illinois.
That's a
Studio.
It's the Ohio
Apartment. But okay, so
Shout out to Cole Cabana.
Cold Man is tight.
Just turn it all down. Just turn it all down.
Boom,
This
boom.
is the end of this show. We've
It pretty
ended
much
the
is.
show successfully.
No, because we got a good 10 minutes because someone on Twitter wanted to hear about what your guys' what Chris's thought was of Summer Slam Jam.
Cool.
Oh
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
pumped for this. I'm
Really?
so excited.
Who's that someone?
Okay, would you ask your damn
You know
question?
who
We
it
can talk
is.
about
My
real
trivia
stuff.
question, so then we can talk about real
So,
stuff
Ryan.
because we never got to how I even got into soccer or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you did.
Kind of. Not
Yeah, you
really.
did. You said
You watched the World
1994 is the
Cup.
World Cup.
You were
No, 'cause
7
then
and
I
you were
went
tight.
about-
in 96,
I
you got
didn't
an
talk about
ML.
St.
You went in some
Pauli
weird-
and the
No,
greatness and the
because you went
Chicago
in some
Fire.
diatribe
I
about
understand
MLS.
that you have this much that you want to talk about, but sometimes we want this much and we don't really care about
Do
this
you
last part.
know who the hell I am?
You're the real Peter Evans.
I am real Peter Evans. Because in an American soccer convention, I have to take something from Europe that makes no sense. So Real Peter Evans is my Twitter handle. That makes,
Shout out to the Spanish monarchy.
So back to your question.
they're tight. Kyle Beckerman. But so Nick Romando.
Where's Dan Jansen? Because every time I hear the word tight, I just think, oh my God, I need like jock jams. And
Toy
I need Dan Jansen. And what was Dave?
Dave, what the hell was his name?
Oh my God, Dave.
Where they were both
There's
going
a
to be like the
question.
best
There's a question.
triathlete.
Yes.
And,
No,
decathlete,
Decathletes.
and
Yes.
only one of them made
Dan
it.
Jansen. Dan Jansen won because he was the real one.
Trivia question is
Dan
this.
Jansen's real about that. He's about that life.
About that
She knows. No, she doesn't.
Nope, she doesn't.
Okay.
What?
Yes, you
Go
know.
ahead.
You're just like calling out random people. I think the bar's empty almost at this point.
No, there's people in here.
We've cleared out
God.
everyone.
Okay, so your question.
This player holds the American club record for most goals scored in a single season.
Literally, Kaluder asked the same question.
Then Kluter
He
got
did.
it wrong. I doubt Kluter had this as the correct answer.
Oh, he didn't. He said, and he literally called you out and said, "Hey, guess what, Peter Evans? You don't know."
No,
dick
didn't
about it."
Kaluder have the? No, Kaluder didn't have that question.
Because
No.
Messi holds
Janicki had the Yedlin question.
Yeah, and I answered that, and then you won't
Yes.
give me tickets. But so
Then you
Because you need them.
I do, because I'll give them away to
Needy people.
professional bowling hero
Mike Albee.
Mike Albee.
How do you know
Uh-oh.
Mike Albee?
Uh-oh.
Mike Albee's my boss. He owns the building. I
What?
work
He
at.
owns the he owns the Carmel. Really?
Yeah, he
really?
owns the Carmel
Mike
High
Albee
School.
does?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I
How do you know Mike?
Because
Because we're going to talk about
Here we
Mike
go.
now. Because Mike is the salt of the earth. So
yeah, Mike Albee, one of the greatest bowlers ever.
eighth greatest all time, or sixth greatest. Sorry,
Well,
sixth greatest all time according to
right.
PBA.
So wait, hold on now.
In
You
a
guys-
way
they
better
named
human
a
being.
division after
are you guys gonna go golfing and then bowling?
Wait, oh my
No,
God.
with Mike at his lane. I can make that happen.
No, you're getting
Look
fanboy.
at him. A boyhood
He's like,
dream is
legit
come true.
fanboy happening
Wait,
now.
so wait, are you a bowling fan?
He's
Is that
crying.
is that what we're?
Oh,
I
dude,
bowled
like
my entire life.
ridiculous,
My dad
stupid
bowled-
bowling.
Okay, wait.
did
Do you
pro-am
want
and
to
stuff.
meet Mike?
I met him when I was a kid. When I was
Oh
8,
my
9
God.
years old. I met him 3 straight years.
Almost
Every time I
40
came to
years
Woodland.
ago.
No, because literally,
It
I
was
consider
not 40 years ago. You shut your face, Rex.
because literally he's my boss, but I consider him a friend. Like if you want
Oh, dude, you're
to do something, we
I
can make
loved
that
Mike
happen.
Albee shades in the 80s because he had like the transition lenses. They were
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
No, he did. And
Yeah.
also, have you ever seen the
love
Mike
Mike
Albee
Albee.
commercial?
You're losing
Yes.
it. You're losing it right now, aren't
I
you?
am. I'm kind of
Inside
Yeah.
inside
it's
Chris
because-
is this.
Because listen, because it was always like it was him and Brian Voss and
Dude, I get his stories
Monticelli,
all the
right.
time about
Oh,
being on
absolutely.
tour. They're the best stories that you've
Yeah.
ever heard.
right, and he's such a better human being than Pete Weber. So I mean,
Yeah, but-
everybody,
The thing is, I've talked to him about
Pete Weber,
Uh,
Peter Wilt, and Peter Evans walk
That's
into a bar.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
And the bartender goes,
And
"This
Zig goes,
is too many Peters for one
There's
place."
only one dick in this bar,
The
and
fun-
you need to
The
leave.
funny thing is, I have talked to Mike about Weber's about Weber because I think he's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
And he said honestly, if you know the guy, he's a pretty good guy, and it was just that there were some things in his upbringing that kind of caused him to be the way he is. But I mean,
Dick Weber. I mean,
honestly, anything Mike says,
Makes
I
for a good
trust.
show.
So he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a very good dude.
Well, off the air, you guys can get an arrangement.
my dad would be like,
What if you guys go bowling together?
dude, I need to get my dad for that. No, because left-handers. I mean, that was the thing.
Same.
So
For real, we'll off air. We'll talk
Cool.
about this. We'll
Oh.
work out something.
all right.
Look at you.
That's
Look at
so.
you. This is your spot now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. By the way, it is my personal mission to make Mike Albee attend in the 11 match, to the point where I am now working with Peter Wilt in conjunction to make him do the first kick at a match.
Have him bowl out the first kick
Oh my
Oh, that'd
God,
be
you're
incredible.
right.
into somebody
But
else's foot.
I have to give him my keeper gloves so that way it makes sense when he
Right.
has his hands on it.
Right.
Oh my
Oh
God,
man,
we've done it.
dude, he literally could roll that ball to midline with a beautiful, soft, perfect hook.
That's totally the way
Done.
this has to happen now.
Yep, done.
Okay.
That's it. All right, moving on. And
right.
so your question was,
My question was,
John Lyons watching us on a
Yep.
flight to New York City.
oh, what up, Go-Go? Go-Go Wi-Fi.
but the
That's
question
technology.
is this player is the all-time leading scorer for a single season in American club history.
Oh, I know why this sounds familiar. Is
Yeah,
because
because
off the air,
brought it up. Yeah, I brought it up off the air.
He brought it up off the air at Union
And
Events.
the thing is that
That was
Messi-
it was literally like 80 years ago.
who
There's
holds,
your
It really
hint.
was like,
who,
yeah.
it was. Who holds, the,
Yeah,
who holds the world record right now for goals this season? It's Messi, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, he was the holder of the record prior to Messi.
For you Google machines out there.
So we'll see if someone gets it. If not, I have plenty of other American
If not,
soccer
hey, you know what?
history
If not,
questions.
we're gonna take it offline. We'll put it on Twitter and have somebody answer it on Twitter.
Or I'll just take the tickets and give them to Mike.
Okay,
Mike
that's
Albee.
it. Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
We'll give 2 tickets
Indiana
to Mike Albee.
bowling hero.
Two tickets are going to Mike Albee regardless.
Yeah.
Done.
We've got 2 pairs, so these other 2 can go to the Twitter answer. Anyway, so the Twitter question of the evening: can we please discuss Summer Slam Jam? I want to hear what Chris has to say from a.
I like how it's
Three
3
Johns.
Marks and then Chris, and it's, hey, what did Chris think?
Yeah. So I wasn't. Well, here this is what I think. I think
Did you watch?
The Undertaker. No, you have no idea whether I watched or not. You assume I did not.
I know
watch
you
it.
didn't.
I
watch.
assume
You know I did.
promo on you right now.
I bet you watched
Cut
the
a
Undertaker.
cut a
Brock Lesnar
promo
match.
on him.
Absolutely, I watched that.
And that
one.
was it.
Yeah, and I think honestly, the sitting up and staring at each other,
Laughing.
was
Laughing at each
was
other.
The stupidest. shit
Oh my
I've ever
God,
seen.
it's the best thing that's ever happened in the history of wrestling.
I know.
Funny, I died.
Okay.
I was
gonna
like,
stop
someone,
watching.
Know
someone
what I-
give me a gift
Know what
right
I,
now.
know what I
It's-
think about it? I turned on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Actually, got with my wife.
Uh-oh. Got with it.
Yeah.
I had a couple of drinks
You got with
and did anything else but watch that. So go ahead. I have no idea. And you, lady, just because you've been subjected to this inane ridiculousness that I occasionally get back into, and then I go, it's kind of like watching the soap opera where nothing's changed in a year. So let's go back. So, but it does.
I
It
mean,
does change.
So
a lot.
SummerSlam was awful.
Why
You
was it
didn't like it?
awful?
I think SummerSlam was kind of lame, and then the Raw the next night was just out of this world.
Fair.
Peter?
SummerSlam was there were some matches that were legitimately
I get-
awesome.
We need to have
The Cena match was great.
a wrestling watch party somewhere. We need to see if Mark here
Oh,
will just
no,
throw
we-
up some wrestling watch
We
parties.
watched him at my apartment. You just come over there.
No, come to a bar. I don't want to go to your apartment.
Oh, so you don't want to
I don't
want
wanna-
to free.
No, I don't want to go
You
into
don't
the
like free alcohol.
listen, apartment soccer scarves and makes it seem
No,
like
cat
that's
hair.
just
It
just
is.
one room,
hair.
and there's a lot of cat hair.
Called the cat hair. I called it.
Also, keep in mind, I'm a dog dude. Like, who?
Archie Stark,
Who answered that?
Robbie.
God, I love you, Robbie. You're the best. Robbie's
probably-
right. It's Archie Stark.
Robbie gets 2 tickets to Saturday's game.
Well, let's see though.
Boom.
Can Robbie name what team he played for?
Well, he's already got the tickets, but we'll follow up.
We have another
Follow up.
Let's
Let's
do
see
it.
if
Follow
Robbie
up,
can-
Robbie.
Okay, enough wrestling talk. We got another question from John Lyons on his go-go. He said, go-go and Indy 11 podcast, life. And then he had a question. What do you guys think of Cleberson as a coach?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Right.
He's not really the figurehead of the team, to be fair. So I don't know. We obviously don't go to training, so
I went to training once to show the guys the belt for the euchre tournament.
was he coach at the time?
Cleberson, yeah.
Okay.
He was the last one. Like everybody went to the locker room. He was still on the pitch, taking notes, walking the field, taking notes, like literally in a notebook, walking around, doing. You could tell he was doing, like mental walkthroughs of what happened in the practice, and just taking notes on a pad of paper.
I think his impact, every player we've talked to, and we've asked that question, what do you think, is it's an interesting dynamic because he was a player here first, but they know his pedigree, they know what he's played, where he's played. And as a coach, the translation piece, and he does a really good job now, a lot better on English than he on there, but he does understand. But again, I think it goes back. It's a different play mentality. He comes from a culture that is literally known for Jogo Bonita, which is known for we play in a way that's beautiful. We play in a way that's efficient, that moves the ball, that does things, and that's not the play style of here. And we love our homegrown heroes. We love these people that are, but we have such a weird mix right now. We literally have 2 completely different play styles, and I'm being handed things. So I think as a coach wise, I want to know more from him. What's it like for him? You see 2 different play styles. What do you do?
We gotta get clubs on.
Again, I know.
We
had
haven't
him
actually
quickly.
we had him on.
Have you had Coach
Barely.
Club on or just player?
We had
Player Club.
we had legitimately player club.
Twice. We had him on our Gorilla interview, and then we had him the day he was signed.
Yep, the day he was signed, it was here. He had a appearance here when we were doing a show, and they were all leaving. We are like, hey, can we get you to do like a 20-minute interview? And that's when Ben, the translator, was still here and translated
That's so
everything.
awesome. Mike's in.
I will go out of my way to make sure he meets you and talks to you for a little bit. But,
You gotta give me the camera so I can take some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm super excited. Anyways, sorry.
We gotta wrap it up soon.
Let's do that.
That's our wrap up.
the thing about Cleberson, as a coach, I don't know. From what I've heard, the players seem to be responding to him pretty well. I would say it's kind of weird to be a kind of guy, like, I imagine, like, at least I know myself, like, I'm making remarks and cracking jokes and all that. Cleberson one day as a player and the next day as a coach, I think would kind of be a weird feeling, because you're like, oh crap, I've been saying things about certain players and now he's
I think
a coach.
to that, and from talking to players, I think it was Cleberson was a leader in the locker room already. And so he was kind of that guy to be like, would tell people, like, kind of almost like a coach mentality to get people to calm down or hyped up or whatever. And it was just basically a matter of time until, because he was talking to Jurgen about it when Jurgen was still here, saying, hey, I want to be a coach. I just want to let you guys know, like Peter told us, this was going to happen even before. Like, it was a constant conversation with Coach Summer about, when I'm done with this, I want to try to coach. I want to try to coach this team. And I think it was that locker room mentality, though, where he was a leader anyway. So I don't think, because of his age and because of experience and all that kind of stuff, I don't think a lot of the young guys were talking like to him about like, oh, you know, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, I don't get enough playing time, all that kind of stuff. They have their own group back there anyway, and Cleberson's still that leader in a locker room type of mentality.
Do you think he, because isn't his contract up after this year? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was also restructured assistant coach either.
Well, the thing is like, do you think that he sticks around? Whenever his contract ends, do you think he sticks around as a coach, or do you think that he tries to move back?
He won't play again, I don't think.
I don't think so either. But I'm saying, like,
I think he goes back to Brazil.
I don't know. Does he try to coach out there? Or does he
I don't
stay
know.
here? And
I mean,
coach?
that would be. I mean, you could ask him that question now, and obviously because he's still under contract, he's going to say that the political answer of like, "Hey,
That's the thing, yeah.
I'm here." From all conversations and just seeing, social media and things like that, he loves it here. And I don't think there's been maybe 4 or 5 players that have been open about not really wanting to be in Indy or like being in Indy. Everybody else seems to enjoy it here. So,
I mean, Indy's the greatest city on the face of the earth. So if you don't like it here, that's fine. Go somewhere else. But
it's one of those things where you can look at it and say, okay, this guy loves being here. He's got his chances being a coach, but who knows who's going to be coached, knows what the coaching staff looks like next year. You just don't know. Do you think Regan lasts till the end of the season?
Yeah.
Till the end of the season?
He absolutely does.
For sure.
yeah, until the end of the season.
There's no point in firing a coach now. We're not Montreal in a playoff position and firing their coach.
Right.
Not to mention, let's keep in focus the fact that this league, and it was outlined actually by Kaluter in the Monday Musings thing that he always does, which that is one of my favorite things that I've seen Kaluter write, is it is completely possible, given the fall results, that we could be in playoff position by the end of this weekend.
Yes.
It's possible. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it is a thing. And this league is so close. Like,
yeah, they're not out of it.
I'm not giving up on this team yet. I just can't. Like,
I don't think a lot of people are saying that they're going to give up.
I think a lot of people
of it.
have written them off at this point.
I think it was
away.
At least the Reddit has, it seems like.
Well, I mean, but you have keyboard warriors, or you have those guys that are going to get pissed off and screw my season tickets. But then they're the guys that are going to be there that next Saturday.
But okay. You said this earlier. On all your teams, you get on Twitter and you rant. You get angry. You go, I realize it doesn't matter. but you did it because it's almost a therapeutic thing. You have to listen. And you and I, we didn't get into it, but after the home loss that we kind of went into, and I said, listen, at a point, it's okay to say, listen, I love this team. I am not happy with what's happening. I'm not happy with the team we're putting out. I'm not happy with the switching of this. I'm not happy with the results. I'm not happy with the effort. I love this. I'm never going to end. It was, no, we support them no matter what. And I'm like, I just want to make sure that I cleared this. Never, ever is there any wavering on love for this team, for this effort, for organization, for this city. But part of that love is you're not blind. And I said that.
Yeah.
Right? You go, no, you say what you need to say. You go, your performance is bullshit. Yes, you know it. You know it. I'm sure you're beating yourself up. But guess what? We know it as well. And you have to do better. This team is not this. I think what kind of gets skewed, and there's certain teams that are this way. We are the team. And bands do this too, actually. It's funny. There's a lot of these. Like, no. You are lucky that we are here.
Yeah.
You should be worshiping us. We're good. And then there are teams where I feel like maybe it's the fans that cause this, and it gets to that situation. But no, it's you were here for us. You have a team and you play. Why do you play? You don't play if there's nobody watching. So I think it's our job to not only love them and support them, but it's our job to also go, no, this is not okay. We know this. And yes, we know they know that.
I mean, I think that there's different roles that everybody plays with being a supporter. I think that's a thing. My thing is
there's no
like
You're right.
you guys are, the proclaimed voice of the Brickyard Battalion. You guys are the ones that need to make statements like that. Whereas myself, like, my job, honestly, is if we get knocked down, I'm going to dust myself off. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go, okay, that sucked, but...
So where does Charlie Rugg fall in this? Because it's okay to just blast him out. But what about
I'll
the
blast the entire team if I need to, but the thing is, it's like...
Because Charlie Rugg will just get it from you all day long.
Well, okay,
but the team... But he's part of the team.
He's part of the team.
That
And you
poor
know
guy.
what?
Charlie Rugbot 2.0 is the best tweet ever. Best tweet ever.
No, the joke in Slaughterhouse is now he's Charlie the Manatee. I don't understand that joke completely, but that's a thing.
Because he's a sea cow.
I don't know, but Bill Stark's impression of Charlie the Manatee is my favorite thing in the world. Oh, hey guys, I'm just going to float.
There's a ball here.
But the thing is,
Should probably kick it.
and Rugg's a great player, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, like, as your job as supporters is to support, support, obviously, but the thing is, if the team's playing bad, you should say something. I don't think you should be like Atlanta was 3 years ago when they decided it was a really good idea to protest their fall performance because their team was losing.
Sure.
But that just sounds like you're a bunch of spoiled brats.
Right.
But, I mean, what do you expect from the Ultras in Atlanta? So,
calling them out.
no, it's not calling it out. It's for real. That's a fact.
Right.
And the thing is like people, will have.
Do you feel like
criticism.
that's the same type of thing that's going on in Chicago right now?
No, I don't know. I think those are two separate things
Why?
completely. Because one team was in position to be in a championship game, and the other team had years and years of mismanagement, which led to a supporters section dwindling and getting to the point where they had run out of options after continually trying during games to say, hey, this isn't working. And they finally got to a situation where they're like, you know what? Enough is enough is enough. And if it takes all of us wearing black and not showing up for 90 minutes from kickoff till we go in and then hosting up, a TIFO that's nothing but black banners, it's whatever it takes. And they're talking about handing up pamphlets now at matches to point out, like, this is why this is a problem with the ownership here in Chicago. And honestly, as a Fire supporter, like, yeah, it needs to go. But obviously that's not here nor there. And you didn't mean to get me on a tangent, but
No,
it's
it's all
true.
right.
Like,
I mean, I kind of did because I asked the question.
yeah, but there's a certain thing where you use kind of, you flex your head, you use kind of common sense on things. And, oh my God, we're in the championship. We're taking it easy because the way the league was formatted at the time makes it so that the fall season doesn't mean anything for us. okay, that's different than years of mismanagement.
Sure.
Now, like, people have said, oh, well, we should protest and we should go stand on the rooftop of across the street from Carroll. Why? The team hasn't given up. The players aren't not caring. I haven't seen anyone besides the last maybe 10 minutes of the last match where they were just like, whatever.
Well, when it's like 6-1, you get to the point where it's like, okay, whatever. It's like a mercy rule.
I mean, as a person that, that like at a rec level plays keeper, like honestly, I feel like at that point, the only person that cares is the keeper because it's you getting embarrassed more than anyone else.
Goes against your goals against average.
Yeah. And it's, like I sympathize with that, but like, I think your job as a supporter is you show up every week, you support your team, and if need be, you make a statement. And
I think you have the hardest job, though, or at least capos in general have the hardest job because you guys are immediately after a goal or after like the second goal where it's just easy to, and I'll be honest, I'll get to the point where I don't know if I want to sing anymore, where and then I'll get back into it because immediately after you guys are back to chanting again.
And that was actually a thing I talked about with the capos a couple of weeks ago is our passion runs so deep that we know there are guys that respond to what we're doing. We know there are guys that don't hear what we're doing during the matches. That's fine. Everyone plays differently. Sports psychologists say that what is going on in the stands, no one ever listens to. I've listened on this podcast many times to guys being like, sometimes it does give us a push.
Yeah.
If it's one player out of those 11 that we give a push to because we get scored on and we say, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're going to keep going because we believe in the team, we believe in the city, and we're not going to stop. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, that's what we're about. Like, and that's the thing. Is like my mentality is we get scored on, cool. Give me a second to dust myself off. I'll be right back up on top of the stand. We're going to keep going. Like, we're not going to stop. So,
one final thing, and then we'll wrap up. And I want you to ask it because you want to know about the relationship between Peter Evans and one Tom Dunmore.
So Andy and I
like Rex is like, I'm good with just sitting back on this one.
Andy and I believe that you and Tom Dunmore are brothers.
Yeah.
Across the pond,
Yeah.
Brother, you guys are literally the same person.
You're the American version
are the
of Tom
younger
Dunmore.
American version of Dunmore, and this is why you guys clash because really, I think you guys are the same person. The people would say, "Have you
Look,
seen them
Rex is like,
together?"
I can see that.
Of course you can. Yeah. So no. Anyway. So why do you think you have
do you
clash?
want to know a secret about Tom Dunmore and I?
Yes. Sure.
Is that one? It's funny that you proposed. Well, one, you proposed that theory, and it's funny because there's a theory going around that I am in fact Peter Wilt, who later in life finds a time machine and goes back in time to save American soccer. That is a rumor going on. I think that's the weirdest rumor.
That's a
I've ever
horrible
heard.
Wait.
rumor.
Listen, if that doesn't scream pretentious, I don't know what does. And that's what we're talking about.
But
So
Peter-
that puts
Peter
you in
Wilt
another level of
did
pretentious.
just that.
Psych,
Yeah,
that's
Peter
the
Wilt
wrong
did
number.
just that.
He did. He
But-
went back in time, and he's you.
No, he's not me. No,
No.
but that is literally a theory that's been proposed, and I think it's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life. But it's cool that people think that, I guess. But no, with Dunmore is a guy that and sometimes the email will literally be like, "Yo, off the record, outside of your job, you did what I'm doing now in Chicago. I need advice on this. I need to know what makes sense. Like, I don't know how to solve a problem." And Tom has been nothing but the most supportive human being you can ever be around.
Why the hell are you yelling at him all the time?
Here's the thing.
That's his face.
Here's the honest truth. Tom and I, Tom will take any sort of abuse that I hurl at him, and the thing is that he's always understanding about it. Like, I always immediately go apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to come off in the way I did or do the things I do. And he's like, I get it. Like, he's like, I know what you're going through. I understand. Like, it's frustrating, stuff like that. And we've never seemed to have, there was one moment ever where it seemed like it was really negative. And the rest have just been, we're trying to get through something. This sucks. Like, okay, whatever. But for the most part, like Tom and I get along really well. I just feel bad because that guy is super respectful, and I sometimes treat him too much like a punching bag. But I mean, Tom is literally one of my favorite people I've ever met.
Tom's a good dude.
He is. He's a really good human being.
Good peeps. Anyway, we gotta wrap it up.
Yes, we do.
You guys, thank you.
1 hour and 47 minutes ago.
Well, I knew this was gonna go long.
Yeah.
Had a feeling.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Rex did exactly what he wanted to do. He was like, I'm just going to sit here real quiet.
Yeah.
'Cause nobody will ask me
I'm gonna
any
say
questions.
all my stuff at the beginning and just sit back and enjoy
I mean,
the
you can't
show.
shut Peter up, so that's why I'm glad he was.
How can people get a hold of you or your groups that you so American Outlaws and Slaughterhouse? How do people get a hold of you want to get involved and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so my personal account's at AJ Retz on Twitter. AO_Indy on Twitter, and the American Outlaws Indianapolis on Facebook. We actually have a US game on Friday.
And our email account for people.
Unite.aond@gmail.com if you'd like to get more involved or find out how to become a member of the American Outlaws. So 2 games coming up Friday against Peru at 8 o'clock, I think.
I'm ashamed to say, off the record, when we get done with here, I will be hitting you up for that. It's a shame. I look at it every time and I go, it is embarrassing actually, because I don't know why it's one of those weird things that never clicked. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I not a member of that? Oh, maybe because I'm not an actual member of the. Anyways, okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Tuesday,
Cool.
a game against Brazil as well. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what time that
Is
starts.
there a watch party for that?
Yeah. Watch
Unijack?
parties. Thank you. Watch parties at UJack on Friday and Tuesday, and I'm sure at both Chatham locations as well.
Yeah.
So
My personal account is real_Peter Evans. And then Slaughterhouse is SH19Indy. When it comes to, like, if you want to contact us, membership, anything like that, it's membership@slaughterhouse19.com or peter@slaughterhouse19.com if you want to personally send me an email. And then, trying to think. I was going to say something. We have TV party.
Personal email. Wait. What was that personal email again? Read that again.
Peter@slaughterhouse19.com.
Okay.
What did you think I said? What did I say?
Oh, just go ahead. You're good. Just want to make sure.
Okay.
I just want to make sure the domain. We're good.
Slaughterhouse19.com.
Got it.
The number 19, not
19.
Bingo.
Slaughterhouse19.com.
also Kurt Vonnegut forever. And then no. Also, yeah, I know, right? The nice thing is we got an email from the Vonnegut library, and I thought for sure they were going to send us a cease and desist.
Spacebar.
No, we're almost done.
Spacebar.
We're almost done. And they were
I
like,
like how Reds even looked and goes, you asked for it.
hey, the Vonnegut librray is like, yo, you tight. That's cool.
Oh.
Down.
Oh, that's
So-
really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Did
they
email
are
7-year-old
completely-
Peter Evans said,
they
yo,
did.
you're tight.
7-year-old Peter Evans was emailed from 1994. I didn't know what email was. You made the horrible joke.
I
Not me.
know.
You are
It's
the
your
one
fault.
that's
Yep.
being garbage,
Right.
but it's fine.
Where can we watch the Indy 11 game on Wednesday?
Oh my god! And you can watch it at various locations, but one of them is our TV party at Union Jack, which may or may not include soccer trivia prior to.
And at Chatham in Fishers and downtown.
Yes.
And
the-
various other places
And the
around
Blind
Indiana.
Pig
Buffalo
and
Wild
Kokomo
Wings. Yeah.
and Buffalo Wild Wings.
No,
and-
No.
Kokomo's though. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings and Kokomo now.
Oh yeah.
That's a new spot. For
yeah,
them.
we had
All
people
right.
go up there last week, and then we told them they can't go
Like,
back
They
up
go to the
there.
hugger afterwards.
That's the only reason. I
Oh,
was
there
gonna
you go.
Dude,
You can touch there.
Omakak is the place.
That's what I call it too.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're good.
Oh,
Anyway,
and
all
also one last thing. If you want to help out with painting Tifo, we're
Yeah.
doing it on Friday. So send me an email at the various
Email
things
addresses that
named-
you just said.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Also, at one game, people thought that you were Josh Mason up in the capo, but we'll talk about that off air.
The show
Anyway,
that
thank you
never
for
ends.
Andy,
listening to us
Chris, at
Cage
Cage
Sphere,
Sphere, at C-Balla,
at Pierre Podcast Show.
permanentrelegation.com. Find us on Facebook. Find us on the Twitter. Find us over here
YouTube,
on YouTube.
iTunes. Hey, one of the things too,
Stitcher.
go on iTunes and rate us.
You know what? And on YouTube, give
On
us
the
a like.
YouTubes.
I
On
know
the
it's hard
YouTubes.
to like us, but give us a like
Yes.
and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Glory, Man United.